poised to strike. So are the Steelers.
Bradshaw trying to get away. And his pass.
Rising together to a world championship. In 1972, Pittsburgh scouts and coaches decided to spend their first-round pick on a running back from Penn State named Franco Harris. They envisioned the power of a big back, blended with the open field agility of a smaller man.
Oh, Franco,
And nobody was more grateful than veteran fullback Franco Harris. For 6 years, Harris was the heart and soul of Pittsburgh's attack, and he had the yardage to prove it.
Franco Harris is kind of a unique back. For a big man, he's 6'3", about 235, 240 pounds, and he's awfully quick. 10 or 15 carries, he may have 25 or 30 yards, and then boom. But he's a big play man. He makes a lot of big plays.
He's never really fit the classic fullback mold.
Grossman in motion, quick toss. Franco Harris has Thornton out in front of it. First down and a bundle more. Look out! Oh boy! Bill Thompson could save it. Bernard Jackson pulls down Franco Harris down at the 16-yard line, and the big man also can turn it on a third and short. He broke it.
Now you see something of the fire in Franco Harris and all the Steelers as you look at it again from the end zone. And he was waiting on his blockers, Don. That's why Jackson caught him. Otherwise, he might have powered his way.
Really were out there. Of course, you mentioned he does for this guy we've talked about so many times how fast he is. Bernard Jackson is one of the fastest guys on the Denver team.
A brutally basic Pittsburgh ground attack.
This is the bread and butter man all year. Franco Harris off tackle following Flyer's block. He kicks Hilgenberg out. Seaman couldn't get there. This is Eller. Watch Eller, number 81. He's the one that makes the tackle. Krause missed him first.
For 46 yards of a 65-yard drive. Franco Harris had his first 100-yard day as a pro, capping it with a short touchdown plunge.
A week ago Sunday in this blizzard in Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, with this touchdown burst by Franco Harris, beat the Bengals 7-3. Yesterday, they swarmed over Tampa Bay 42-0. Their playoff hopes still alive.
And the Steeler offense has uncovered some new ingots, one of whom is Pittsburgh's own number 32, Franco Harris, here following guard Bruce Van Dyke. The Steeler blockade has been superb all season. This time, watch left guard Sam Davis as he cracks open another hole for Harris to consume. Harris is the 230-pound rookie from Penn State, who started the season on the bench, will be hard to dislodge now. This was his best day yet, gaining 140 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns.
He threw only 9 interceptions against 18 touchdown passes to a variety of receivers. Over 6,000 yards rushing. 6 playoff seasons with a team that had never made them before he arrived. The first back in NFL history to gain over 1,000 yards rushing in postseason play.
Second down 9.
Look at that opening over there.
Running to the flag.
Oh,
over. Pittsburgh scores. Jerry Mullins threw the block for him.
Terry Bradshaw giving the ball to Franco through the middle, then over the 15 to 10 to 5. Touchdown Pittsburgh. They opened it up down the middle. He knocked them loose in every direction, and the Steelers go on the board with a TD.
Franco Harris pushes through at the 20, 15, get the block. He may go. No, he's pushed out.
Fullback Franco Harris did his part too, as the Steelers rolled to an imposing 28-3 lead at the half. The Steelers stalled the Packers scoring machine by running the ball 59 times, amassing 285 yards.
Franco Harris gained 1 yard less than the entire Baltimore offense. All this with a blend of power and elusiveness unequaled in the sport.
Franco Harris ran wild as the Steelers pulled away from their one-time arch rivals. Even their unassuming Clark Kent mild-mannered reporter offense looked super by rushing for 330 yards and scoring 45 points.
In the end, however, it was the Steelers who made their own breaks with crisp and sure execution that brought the Bengals down hard, 28-3.
Bradshaw gives the ball to Franco Harris as he rumbles around. He's up to the 20. See how he can get outside. When he gathers that momentum, he can accelerate. He was taken out by Jeff Seaman, the middle linebacker.
They're going to try to get to the outside of Carl Eller.
Again, a reverse.
That little step and that little roll around got just enough of the flow to the inside to get the big man out.
He saw Winston didn't quite get there either.
Quarterback Terry Bradshaw, number 12, and running back Franco Harris, number 32. Franco Harris. Harris gained 179 yards and scored twice as the Steelers thoroughly whipped the once unbeatable Cowboys. Guard Steve Corson, number 77, spearheaded an assault by Franco Harris and Steeler runners that was straightforward, simple, and time-consuming. It was a letter-perfect plan of ball control.
And Franco Harris's strong running spurs memories of his last performance against these same Oakland Raiders. He has won 6 division titles and 2 world championships. Number 32 simply tears away huge chunks. Harris confounds a defense. It sets out to capture an elusive floating sprite and ends up clinging to a runaway truck.
43-yard line.
And a fully healthy Franco Harris takes the sting out of the loss of Fuqua.
Bradshaw sends 5 on the pattern. Up the middle, Franco Harris. Big first down, and Franco rambles close to the 49-yard line.
Once again, Terry Bradshaw was reading that defense. His back's coming out of the backfield. The reason he's going to them is because the outside receivers, Stallworth and Swan, they're being double-teamed. You can't force the ball there, so you go to the man that's going to be open. Franco Harris.
As the Steelers closed out their greatest season ever with their 11th victory and the division title.
During 1975, Franco was at his best in the big games. Franco Harris is Mr. Pittsburgh Steeler. But in the season's 10th week, Mr. Pitt Panther came home.
A couple of nice moves by Harris. He's out of bounds at the 41. Second down. Bradshaw, a lot of time. Franco Harris shoots one man. Grossman in motion. The toss goes to Harris. Thornton's out in front of it. Harris is in.
Good night. They got it rolling tonight.
Steelers using all of their weapons in that drive. Their principal offensive weapons, Swan and Franco Harris.
And a fella named Bradshaw.
Franco Harris just knowing where he is on the field at all times.
To lead 16-13. And so Hanratty begins a go-ahead drive. But the comeback is not to be. Franco Harris rushes for over 100 yards, for his style has always been too calculating. Some people call it avoiding contact. Franco calls it picking his hole. In 1978, the light-stepping fullback emerged from the tangle for his 6,000-yard season and became the 5th leading rusher of all time.
Bradshaw has changed the play at the line of scrimmage, and a delay to Franco Harris. First and goal.
Franco Harris coming out to the 30.
Franco Harris. Second and goal.
Franco
over the middle. Franco Harris, touchdown. Steelers back in front.
The Steelers are Harris, 25. Out of the double wing, Harris has the ball, and he scores. Franco Harris puts the Steelers ahead.
You'll see Sam Davis, the pulling guard, made a good little block there. Nice block by Randy Grossman, 84, held Pritchard before he could get there, and he was already too late.
Here's Harris. He had the hole, and he slips by Lamar Parrish.
Then, a league-leading ground attack that snowballed Pittsburgh into the lead. All this with a blend of power and elusiveness unequaled in the sport. From Rookie of the Year to Superstar, Harris has not disappointed, as Pittsburgh won a division title by sweeping all 6 games in the strong AFC Central. Along the way, number 32 set all-time Pittsburgh rushing records. But modest Franco prefers to mention the courage of his running mate, Rocky Bleier.
Jerry Mullins threw the block for him.
Boy, did he throw a block, Perry. You call it right on the button. They go to their left. They've been running so beautifully there.
Counter step.
72, the man from USC. Here's the block. Great block.
On Hilgenberg. Seaman can't get there.
And Franco Harris is 99 yards rushing.
But with 1:45 left, Bradshaw received a second chance, and even weirder things occurred. First, Bradshaw was blindsided, but Franco Harris recovered his fumble and sped to the Cowboy 3.
And his pass is broken up by Tatum. Tipped off. Franco Harris has it. And he's over. What? Franco Harris grabbed the ball on a deflection.
Giving the ball to Franco through the middle, then over the 15 to 10 to 5. Touchdown Pittsburgh. They opened it up down the middle.
The ageless wonder that was Franco Harris. At 33 years of age, Franco was no longer a game breaker, but his inside surges resulted in 5 100-yard games, a record 8th 1,000-yard season, and another rung on the all-time rushing ladder.
Stout sends Abercrombie in motion, gives the ball to Harris. Harris running to the right. He turns up over the 25, out of bounds near the 30, and he has broken O.J.'s record, and then some. He is now the number 2 all-time rusher in the National Football League. Jim Brown stands alone in front of him, and this crowd of almost 60,000 people standing and applauding. Well, just the greatest man to ever wear that number 32.
And his teammates come out on the field to meet him. They greet him 15 yards out on the field from the sideline. They're mobbing Franco Harris. Franco has surpassed the juice. Is he not one beautiful moose? I said, you can count on Franco. He's money in the banco. Here come the Steelers off the field. The guys on the field are coming off the field. Everybody is descending upon Franco, whom we all know and love.